we're going to be applying this red primer all over the aluminum pieces that will be sprayed first, and I'm going to shoot a little bit of it so that you can see how it's applied and the thickness of it. But for the most part, most of the primering will not be filmed, just the initial, so you could see the result. Okay, so we're going to start with our first piece, and we will start primering these three pieces that are in line. And basically, you're going to want to primer only the areas that are going to be faux finish. This wasn't cleaned out too well, but see this Juneberry color has pretty much taken over all of the clay colored look that I applied as a primary or a primer. The primer is now going to let this oil-based color adhere properly, so I can begin the layering process of what's going to happen with the rest of the colors. We have a series of 4 other colors that are going to be applied, and I know these kind of look hideous, this color, but this is just a foundation to what's going to happen with the rest of it when I finish doing the faux finish. Now, if you can see, the base clay color has really disappeared, and I'm going to work really hard to get rid of this Juneberry color. It's just going to pop up in certain portions of the finish, but once everything's done, I think you'll understand why the layering process was very important. Hi, Eddie here. So we've already given the primer to the fountain. It's a white ultra grip primer that comes from Dunn Edwards. I've given it an even coat, and this is just the foundation to what is going to happen with the rest of it. So next will be the dark blue color. So I've already prepared the paint, the teal color that's going to go inside or on the main color for the body of the fountain and the rest of the urns. So we're going to go ahead and start spraying. So there you go. We've already painted the base color. I didn't put a heavy coat on it because I'm going to keep layering all of the different colored paints on it. So I made sure that I got an even coat all over the fountain, and then we will continue with all of these to start preparing these for the color. So I'll keep you posted. So we've already completed painting all of the urns, the base color, this teal, as you can see. Again, it's done sparingly, it's not done uniform, in a uniform fashion. And that's only because we're going to be layering more colors onto the urns. If you can see here, I've already started using black spray paint to do the underparts of some of these urns and the fountain, and this is just kind of natural shadowing that I'm doing. If you could see, again, so you kind of want to give character to the pieces. You don't just want to paint a uniform color, and then from there you start layering the dark, because once you have applied the dark colors, you start working backwards and covering up the black with the highlights. If you could see the highlights of the white that I had initially put, I also applied some on the bottom part of these urns, and I'm going to be applying to everything that will naturally have a shadow or a distress, like over time, is what we want. You can see on this gargoyle, or this dragon, how I did the dark, the black underneath, and then I'll start layering the lighter colors on top. So in a few minutes I'll go ahead and start demonstrating the green patina that we're going to apply to the body to cover up a lot of this blue. Again, leaving some of the blue sparingly here and there, but I'm going to finish shadowing all of the urns so that we can move forward to applying the green to the body. So you can see I've done the black in a lot of the areas. Again, this is all on the bottom, kind of natural shadowing that I'm doing, and then I'll end up coming back and applying the green to the pieces. So we've already finished doing all the shadowing on the pieces, on the urns. I've already applied the black everywhere I wanted it, including all the bottom of the urns, the shadowing on the bottom of the faces, on the handles. As you can see, this is also done very sparingly. We're now going to proceed to do the color green. At the end of the video, I will detail all the colors that are being used on these pieces so that you can reference them and you can buy them yourself to be able to do everything I've done with these urns. So we're ready to start the process for the green. So I've already applied the green base color to two of the urns. As you can see, I did a downward spraying where I'm making the gun only go over the elevated areas, and then of course whatever is being exposed to in a vertical fashion will get more of the green application than the lower areas. Like these won't have any green whatsoever, neither will the bottom of the face, neither will the bottom of the face. So it's all what only lands vertically on the areas that would be vertical. So I've already done the fountain as well. As you can see, I'm applying the green only to the top portion that would patina naturally, and all the bottom portions are left the darker blue for the contrast. Now I'm doing it this way with the gun instead of dry brushing, because I want more of an even look to the application. And then the last color, which is the lightest color, will then be dry brushed above these elevated areas that you could see throughout the urns. You know, like the head of the phoenix, these elevated areas here, the brows, the nose, anything that's elevated, I'm going to do dry brushing with the lightest color. So this is again the green that I applied from above to get the shadowing of the light of the darker blue underneath, so you could see it. So you're seeing all three colors. You're seeing the black, the blue, and the green all in this application. I will come back and do shadowing with the black wherever I see that I need to. These urns I haven't started yet, but I'm about to start this one here. So I'm going to demonstrate a little. Here's the gun. I have it on low pressure. As you can see, I'm only applying what I can from above to leave the shadowing on the pieces themselves. And then I'm going to apply sparingly to cover some of the blue and some of the black, and then possibly some of that base color that I had. So these are the areas that will take a little more green, but you're not painting to cover up the blue, you're just painting to accent the elevated areas with the green. You'll see on the Phoenix, it'll just be the top portions. You're going to leave the shadowing that we had already done with the black, if you can see it. And then again on the edge of the urn itself. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and continue, and I'll get back to you once I'm done with all of the pieces. Look at all the shadowing. This is exactly what I'm talking about, leaving the black and just applying the green to the top portions of it. So I'm going to go ahead and finish. So I've completed all of the colors on the urns that we needed to do as far as the base colors are concerned. I'm pretty happy the way everything turned out. You could still see the blue in a lot of areas that I didn't cover. And then you can see the green highlighting as the second color. But for the most part, the urns came out spectacular, and so did this fountain. So now the last color that's going to be applied is the accent color, and that is a really vibrant color that it's called Sprig of Mint. Let me open it up here, and this is going to be a dry brush application. Look how nice that green is. So we're going to apply this color. I'm going to grab a little bit of paint like this, and we're going to slightly do a dry brush application to highlight some of the elevated areas. For the most part, you want to do this to the areas that you want to pop. And in patinas, this effect just creates even more depth, because then the deeper colors that you have, that you layered prior to this light color, are able to pop. You could see the blue deep down, then you could see the green, and then the final color, which is the patina color on top. This just gives it a really great feel of depth to the pieces. And look at that. Nice. It has more of a realistic feel in the end. So notice how the little bit of paint that I applied has stretched so much with just that light application. So again, we're going to grab a little bit of paint, just the very tip of it, and apply it to the actual elevated areas that we want. Look how nice that looks. Again, there's no set way to do this. It's pretty much, you're going to apply it based on how much intensity you want to add to the piece. But for the most part, just be artistic with it. Don't try to do it perfect, because there's no set way of how this should look. If at some point you do feel like you messed up, then you just go backwards and apply some of the either blue or the green color that we used for the patina. But look how spectacular everything is popping. So again, you're going to do it as realistic as possible. I'm doing the corners, I'm doing the elevated areas on the Phoenix images, and also look how nice. Again, as realistic as you can. If you don't have any idea of what you want when you do these patinas, you want to reference stuff, because there's a lot of stuff on the internet that you can look at to give you an example of the possibilities, the infinite possibilities that you could take these pieces to. So as soon as I'm done with the rest of the pieces, I'll go ahead and show you. Again, I'm going to continue this dry brushing throughout the rest of the pieces, and as soon as I'm done with everything, I'll show you what's up.